Happy Thanksgiving. Let's talk about something that grinds my gears. Let's have a little Thanksgiving Day grumpiness. Why is it that the Chiefs are the only team who get criticized for winning football games? This is stemming from last week's victory versus the Carolina Panthers, where they won by a field goal at the last second by a score of 30-27. I'm Gary McKenzie, your host here at RGR Football. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here, and I hope you all are having a wonderful Thanksgiving, depending on whether this airs today or tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed your turkey if it's airing on Friday. Anyways, I want to talk about this whole conversation that's going on about the Chiefs not winning by enough points. And this whole conversation about how the Chiefs just didn't look very good versus the lowly Carolina Panthers. And I think that this conversation in particular might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in terms of talking about football. Do these people not understand how hard it is to win in the NFL? Do they not understand the parity in the NFL? Do they also not understand that going into that game versus the Chiefs, the Panthers had won 2 games in a row, and Bryce Young had been playing a little better? In addition to that, there are 3 teams in the AFC who I believe are really in the thick of things in terms of the playoff picture, trying to get that number 1 seed. Those 3 teams are the Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo is 9-2. They lost to Baltimore and Houston. They were blown out by Baltimore. You want to know a team that hasn't been blown out this year? That's the Chiefs. Buffalo lost 10-35 versus Baltimore. They also have 2 games where they won by 3 points versus teams that have very bad records. So the New York Jets came rolling into play Buffalo with a 2-4 record. Buffalo barely beat them, 23-20. Miami, 3-6 record, 2-6 record at the time. Barely beat Miami, 30-27. Granted, Miami did have Tua Tagovailoa back, but why are we talking about the Chiefs' 3-point win versus the Panthers when the Bills have been blown out? And then in addition to that, they've also won 2 squeakers versus bad teams. I'll never understand why this is even a point of conversation. Moving on to Pittsburgh. People want to talk about the Chiefs winning close games versus bad teams. How about the Steelers losing them? And the Steelers are one of the best teams in the AFC right now. They lost to the Colts by a score of 24-27. The Colts currently have a 5-7 record. They lost to the Cowboys, 17-20. The Cowboys are currently 4-7. They lost to the Cleveland Browns, 19-24. The Cleveland Browns are currently 3-8. So here's another example of, why aren't we talking about the Steelers in the same way? Moving on to Baltimore. Baltimore, who was a lot of people's Super Bowl favorite, they have lost 4 games this year. They lost to the Raiders, who are 2-9. They lost to Cleveland by a score of 24-29. Once again, the Browns are 3-8. And then their other 2 losses came against Kansas City and Pittsburgh. So I will never understand how the Chiefs are in this situation where if they win a game, they can be ridiculed for it. There's no such thing as a bad win in the NFL. Each of these games is a fight, and winning alone in the NFL is a huge accomplishment, and the Chiefs have done it more than anyone else this season. They are 10-1. So I want to talk about that Carolina game for just a brief moment because it reminded me of a game from last year in Week 4 versus the Jets, where Zach Wilson played the game of his life, and the Chiefs barely clung to a victory, and they won 23-20. What did the Chiefs go on and do the rest of that year? They went on to win the Super Bowl. So Zach Wilson played the game of his career. So did Bryce Young. Any given Sunday, the Panthers had a good game plan. They executed well. Bryce Young played the best game, perhaps, of his career. And that's what happens in the NFL whenever some team just comes up and shows out. Any given Sunday. This game also reminded me of a game from 2022, 2 seasons ago. In Week 15, the Chiefs played the 1-12 or 1-11 Houston Texans. They were terrible in 2022. And Kansas City won in overtime. It took them everything they had to win this game 30-24. If you remember this game, it was expected the Chiefs would come in and blow the Texans out, and that was not the case. The Chiefs had to fight tooth and nail to win this game. What did the Chiefs do after this? If you remember, the pundits after this game were saying, oh, maybe the Chiefs aren't as good as we thought they were. You know, maybe they're going to have some problems. They barely beat the Texans. They had to go into overtime versus the Texans. What did the Chiefs do to finish the season? They won their next 6 games, including the playoffs, marching their way straight to the Super Bowl. So here are things that have happened in the past and things that have happened to other teams that still show why this should be a non-issue for Chiefs fans. A win is a win. I don't care if it's by 3 points, 1 point, 25 points. A win is a win. And I don't think Andy Reid cares either how much they win by. So, all that said, there are reasons why they did not blow out the Panthers. We mentioned some of them. The Panthers have been playing better. Bryce Young had the game of his career. But one thing the Chiefs really need to clean up in that game is their pass protection. And Wanya Morris has filled the role of the starting left tackle admirably, but in my opinion, he is not going to be a long-term starter in the NFL at the left tackle position unless something changes drastically. I do think DJ Humphries can be. I think DJ Humphries can be a starter for this team and play well enough to see a significant improvement. He just has to get his legs underneath him. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I can guarantee you if the Chiefs give up 5 sacks again, DJ Humphries is going to get closer and closer and more quickly moving towards that starting left tackle position. And the Chiefs showed that they're not fooling around by signing DJ Humphries. So I think he's going to be a huge improvement once he can get up to speed if he plays anywhere near the caliber that he played for the Cardinals. So this is a huge under-the-radar signing for the Chiefs, and hopefully he can play and make an impact. Another thing that this Chiefs team currently has that they need to work on is their pass defense. So their pass defense has been lacking. Ever since Jalen Watson came out, I think many of us were somewhat nervous about the Chiefs' pass defense. And some of that nervousness has come to fruition. And Najee Johnson, while playing the best he can, there have been some issues. Chamari Connor, love him as a tackler, love him as a downhill player in the secondary, but coverage, he's a bit of a liability. So the Chiefs right now are operating with one lockdown corner, Trent McDuffie, and then trying to cobble together coverages that work. Now the Chiefs do a good job playing match zone or, switching off their coverages. Sometimes they get burnt by it, but that's one thing that can help. Another thing that can help the pass defense is if the pass rush becomes more effective. And what do you know? Charles Omenihu looks like he's going to suit up this weekend versus the Raiders. I think that will be a huge boost for the Chiefs pass rush, who has had a difficult time getting to the quarterback this year. So you can see, we're entering week 12, week 13. The Chiefs are seemingly getting stronger. They're adding pieces to their roster. Hollywood Brown sounds like he's going to come back around Christmas time. And so the Chiefs, I think, are trending in the right direction, even though this game versus Carolina has a lot of pundits saying otherwise. I do not think for a second that, given the history of what the Chiefs have done, and then comparing them against the rest of the NFL, I do not think that loss or that close win versus the Panthers means anything. Doesn't mean anything. I still think the Chiefs are moving in the right direction. They have things they can work on, but the areas that they need to work on, help is on the way. So I think the Chiefs are sitting in a good spot right now, 10-1, holding the number 1 seed currently, and I hope that they handle business versus the Raiders this year. They may have some bad taste in their mouth from last year, and they want to get some revenge, and we'll see if that happens on Friday. And what a weird day for a football game. What a weird time. I know a lot of people might have to work Friday at 2. So my hat goes off to you, taking care of what you need to take care of. Unfortunately, I hope you can, or hopefully you can record the game and you're not affected by it. But let me know down in the comments if this Friday at 2 game time is going to cause you any problems. Let me know how you feel about the Chiefs win versus the Panthers. Do you agree with the pundits that the Chiefs are not good for winning, or do you think it's all a bunch of bull crap and a win is a win? I'm on the a win is a win team. But this is Gary signing out. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And, while you're here, you made it this far, hit that subscribe button and like the video. It helps us out a lot. I haven't checked if we've reached 30,000 subscribers yet. We might. I know we're getting close, and that's a huge goal for us. But appreciate all of y'all. Take it easy. Let's go Chiefs. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully you can spend time with friends and family.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.